17 years ago, EastEnders aired Grant Mitchell's most humiliating breakdown, and almost everyone completely forgot it happened. Most people remember the big Mitchell explosion scenes, Phil throwing punches, pub brawls, or explosive Christmas reveals. But very few talk about this quiet, devastating conversation between Grant Mitchell and Jane Beale. This was the moment Grant realised he was getting older, his charm was fading, and his usual trick of running away wasn't going to fix his life anymore. If you loved early 2000s EastEnders, this scene is a masterclass in soap writing. In this video,
we're breaking down the full psychology behind Grant and Jane's forgotten affair, why it blew up, and what it revealed about Walford's ultimate bad boy. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more classic soap breakdowns. To really appreciate how crazy this scene was, let's rewind to where these two were in their lives. Grant Mitchell had returned to Walford, but he was no longer the untouchable king of the square.
He was older, carrying years of baggage, failed marriages, and an identity crisis. On the other hand, Jane was caught up in the middle of Walford's complex web of relationships. Their connection wasn't built on deep love, it was built on desperation. For Grant, Jane represented an escape, a delusion that he could just restart his youth with a fresh relationship. For Jane, Grant was an intoxicating distraction from her ordinary life. The scene kicks off right
after Jane overhears a conversation she was never meant to hear. The secret is out, the fantasy is shattered, and the panic immediately sets in. Look at how Grant reacts the second things go wrong. His immediate response? How about if I come with you? This is classic Grant Mitchell. Whenever the heat is on, his instinct isn't to fix the problem. It's to pack a bag and run. But Jane instantly shuts him down with 4 brutal words. That'd be ridiculous. She calls him out on the spot. She tells him directly, "You don't even know me." And Grant's reply? "I'll risk it." This shows just how deeply delusional Grant was at this moment. He calls it passion, but Jane sees it for what it truly is, a stupid fantasy. Jane points out the harsh truth that Grant is 40 years old, insecure about getting older, and trying to use her as an escape pod from his real responsibilities, including his daughter Courtney. The absolute best part of this dialogue comes when Jane confronts him about his ultimate flaw.
She tells him, "You can't keep running away." And Grant looks her dead in the eye and says, "Wrong. It's what I've always done, and it's what I'm going to carry on doing." That single line encapsulates Grant Mitchell's entire character arc. He admits it. He knows he is broken. He knows he destroys everything he touches, but he refuses to change. Jane then delivers the ultimate reality check that completely breaks him. She tells him that if he keeps running, he won't find anything. He'll just be stuck on his own, drifting from job to job, getting older by the day, with nobody who actually cares about him.
It's brutal, it's heartbreaking, but it was 100% the truth. Notice how fast the energy changes in the second half of this scene. As soon as Grant storms out like an angry schoolboy, Jane is left standing alone in the room. The adrenaline fades and reality crashes down on her. She tries to brush it off, muttering to herself about acting like a naughty schoolgirl. But then Tiffany walks into the room. Tiffany's completely clueless about what just happened.
She's just being nice, being innocent. And looking at Tiffany makes Jane feel a sudden wave of intense guilt. Jane breaks down and says, "I'm sorry. You're so nice, Tiffany. I love you." This is why 2000's EastEnders was so brilliant. In under 3 minutes, a single scene goes from intense sexual tension to a furious argument, to psychological breakdown, and finally to pure guilt. There were no massive stunts needed, just incredible writing and raw acting. Looking back at this moment 17 years later, it really highlights how dynamic Ross Kemp and Laurie Brett were together on screen. It wasn't the biggest storyline in EastEnders history, but it was certainly one of the most real. Grant Mitchell was a tough guy on the outside, but scenes like this proved how fragile he really was when confronted with his own failures. So, I want to hear from you. Do you remember this storyline when it first aired? Do you think Jane was right to shut Grant down, or did they actually have potential as a couple? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this classic soap breakdown, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more retro EastEnders content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.